Rod stole a little bit of my thunder today. I'm going to talk about Chicago still a little bit as one of my customer stories. It's okay though, Rod. We'll go a little bit deeper. I'll share a little bit different spin. So, thank you. So, welcome everybody. My name is Dana Bolton. I'm the Vice President of Customer Solutions for ComEd. And we're the local utility. And I'll talk a little bit more about that on our next slide, just to give you a little bit more about our company. To give you a little background about me, I have a computer science degree. I got my MBA from the Booth School of Business. I've been in multiple industries, primarily on the IT side. I started off at Anderson Consulting and worked my way through Lucent Technology and Bank of America and ended up at a utility. So you guys are probably thinking, why the hell is he here speaking to us? Because he knows nothing about this. But I have my two team members who will give me hand signals when I say something wrong, which is why they're sitting right in the front here. So, all right. So seriously, ComEd is excited to join you here today. For those of you who came outside the Chicagoland area to join this conference today, wow, lots of people, lots of people. All right, great. So I want to welcome you to the home of championship teams. We have the Chicago Bears, the Bulls, the Blackhawks, the Sox, the Cubs, everything you like. The Fire, there you go. We can go on and on. We can share one of our trophies with you. It's fine. I'm sorry, I got a cough here. But we also have beautiful architecture and skylines that I hope you enjoy. We have historic landmarks, the Magnificent Mile, Navy Pier, Buckingham Fountain, so hopefully you get a chance to check those things out. But we also have our unique cuisine, deep dish pizza, you've probably heard of that, Garrett's Popcorn, try that out, and then also our Chicago-style hot dog. You have to try that out. But all those wonderful things pale in comparison to your excitement and enjoyment to use the affordable, reliable energy delivered by my company, ComEd, to you today, right? There you go. Yeah, give it a hand. All right. Now, seriously, I'm excited about this opportunity today to speak in this environment that fosters collaboration and innovation within industry. You're going to hear from lots of experts today in compressed air. And like I said, I am not one of those experts. And because of that, I'm going to take a different approach in what I speak about today. And this perspective is more about how compressed air is a vital part of the greater energy efficiency initiative and mission that we're trying to drive here in Illinois and across the U.S. So the title of my presentation today, Exploring the Future of Industrial Energy Efficiency. All right, a little bit about the company really quick. ComEd is, Commonwealth Edison is a unit of Chicago-based Exelon Corporation, the nation's leading competitive energy provider. We have approximately 10 million customers. I think of Exelon in three categories. We have our retail and wholesale company, which has about 2 million retail customers, and we do energy trading, commodity trading. Then we have our generation side to the company that has about 32,700 megawatts of energy that we produce. And then we have the utility side, which has 6 utilities, and we service Illinois, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, DC, and Delaware. And ComEd, who today in Illinois, we provide service to approximately 4 million customers across northern Illinois, and that's about 70% of the state's population. So when we're not doing well, the state's not doing well, to say the least, and we hear about it. So your community of industry leaders, the work you do every day and your participation in this inaugural event reaches beyond your own facilities. One of the reasons I'm passionate about being here and a part of the ComEd team is because we are able to positively impact our community. You have the opportunity to do the same as well from your seats and your roles. Through our ComEd energy efficiency programs, we have a unique opportunity to shape the future. We work with our customers and partners to craft a vision for business communities that helps us all manage energy more responsibly. Today is more important than ever before. So with that responsibility comes the idea that your actions help make the world a better place for those around you. Through innovation and collaboration, energy efficiency allows us to cut operating costs, be more productive, create tons of jobs, and positively impact our environment. That brings us to today's conference kickoff. With this being the first time that this conference is being held, we get to set the tone for the future of what this is. It's a chance to drive change. It's a chance for us to get manufacturers, service providers, and compressed air customers working together toward a solution that benefits all parties. We consider ourselves to be a part of our customers' community. If we're going to work toward a better future, we're going to need to find ways to work together to achieve it. Energy efficiency is a great way to bring lots of different ideas and visions together for a greater good. One thing I didn't mention, it's part of the bio of actually what I do. I actually run our energy efficiency organization. And one of the things I've learned through legislation, we have a $350 million budget. We spend lots of money across all sectors. And I did not realize how hard it was to give away $350 million. I'm telling you that because you can have some of it. The ones that are local, you can have some of it. I always tease my team, if we can't give away this money, spend this money, my wife will surely spend it. So anyway, just a quick tangent there. So, all right. So now let's take a little deeper look at energy efficiency. A lot of people say, why would the utility want me to use less energy? This doesn't make sense to a lot of people. Don't you want me to use more electricity and power? That's how you make money. That's what people think. Well, when we save energy, we save on major infrastructure needs, such as the cost to build additional power lines. In addition, we're able to reinvest those dollars into other community structures and facilities. Essentially, every kilowatt saved is money that can go to your bottom line, operating costs go down, and businesses can thrive. Most importantly, we all want to be better environment stewards. We are already making some big changes in the world. These programs are saving businesses thousands of dollars. They're creating hundreds of jobs, and they're cutting energy use by greater amounts with every passing year. Participating in an energy savings program where you work can be one of the best things you can ever do. It's not only makes your boss happy, but it lets you go home each day with a sense of pride. I'm at home, somebody leaves on a light in a room, turn that light off, turn that TV off, and I warn you, I took it a little too far because now if I leave something on, my kids like, hey, Mr. Energy Efficiency, turn that light off. You're always preaching. So, but really, you really feel good about when you're able to link how our use of energy and how it impacts our environment and the dollars we save. It's really meaningful. So let's talk about the numbers just a little bit. I was told I had to include numbers. You can't have a presentation without numbers, so we're going to talk numbers for a quick second. I'll make this quick, though, all right? So the first quarter of 2018, manufacturing profits in the United States rose by 3%. That's good news for the industrial sector. We should celebrate that. But we also need to keep in mind that about 1/3 of the total U.S. consumption in 2017 went to industry, of which electric energy use was 1 trillion kilowatt hours for industry. It's a big number. 1 trillion, huge number. Now follow along, I'm gonna throw some numbers at you. Out of that 75 billion, out of that 1 trillion kilowatt hours, 75 billion kilowatt hours is for compressed air systems that are in 70% of manufacturing facilities today. What if we reduce that compressed air energy by about 15%? That's a feasible goal, and that would save us 11 billion kilowatt hours, or $1 billion in savings. Huge, huge numbers. Industrial energy use is still increasing, but it's a good thing. We just have to remember that production is still going up in the industrial sector. And since the start of 2016, the industrial sector has grown every quarter, adding $4.5 trillion to our economy. I'll say it again, it's an exciting time to work in this industry. All right. Now add to that the ability to make an even bigger difference. What if you weren't just making more revenue with each passing year? What if you were making more profits? Because that's really what it's about. Not the revenue, it's about the profits, right? It's the bottom line. And doing it responsibly for your impact on the environment. We keep talking about community, and this is where it really comes into play. We can work together and push for bigger efficiencies in our businesses and create a working environment that brags about energy savings the same way we talk about big sales quarters. We can make our business about more than the bottom line without sacrificing the bottom line. Your utility can be a major partner in helping you achieve all your savings goals. So where do you find a deal like this often? You'd be crazy to pass it up, right? Crazy, right? Everybody be crazy to pass it up? All right, good. This is a win-win situation for everybody. All right. So let's talk a couple real-life experiences, and then I'll leave you today. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program Industrial Systems teams had a chance to work with some companies represented here today. So I'll talk about the first one. As I said, Rod stole my thunder a little bit, but we'll talk a little bit about it. Coming up on Wednesday, there'll be a session about Chicago Heights Steel and specifically what they've done and get into all the nitty-gritty details. But I'm going to steal a little thunder from that team now. So Chicago Heights Steel, they're a company almost as old as ComEd, and they've seen a lot. But they still like to reach out to their community to see what improvements can be made. And fortunately for us, they consider their utility company to be a part of their community and not just someone who sends them a bill every month. The company asked what ComEd could do for them and leverage all of their resources, and probably a big part of why they're still around close to a century later. Working with ComEd's energy efficiency program, they conducted a study of their systems and identified lots of leaks that sprung up over the years. Unfortunately, no one fixed them because they are a 24/7 operation with very little downtime. Many of you are probably well aware of that and have experienced that. But I'll cut to the part you really want to hear. They repaired all the leaks, replaced the compressors with a project that paid back its entire cost in 3 months. Not 3 years, 3 months. And they were able to do that through the huge check that you saw Rod show today. And now their estimated savings is in the $200,000 range annually. So just a huge deal, an example of reaching out, finding an opportunity, and taking advantage of it. All right, so that's a lot of savings. I want people to notice something. Usually when I say that I help companies save energies, people's mind immediately go to renewable energy sources like solar and wind. And those are great solutions. Our company is working hand in hand to tie those solutions to our portfolio, just like the rest of the utilities in the industry. But Chicago Heights Steel saves hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, which is estimated to be more than 2.5 million kilowatt hours. Consider all that savings is due to them committing to repair air leaks. You're at an industrial best practice conference, and that probably doesn't shock you much as it did me, but it's worth taking a second look at. We said that there's a vision for a future where energy is used responsibly. That doesn't have to mean big, huge, sweeping, large changes or totally altering the way you work. Sometimes it means doing the same thing we've done in the past, but just being more meticulous and responsible about doing it. Chicago Heights Steel did more than just fix their leaks. They leveraged the power of the community, and they built a culture. You've heard cultures eat strategy for lunch, right? So when it's ingrained, when it's in the DNA of the company, it really goes a long way. They leverage the power of a community. These days, the employees of Chicago Heights Steel engage in a continuous monitoring program where any early leak signs are reported to the maintenance department and addressed quickly, rather than waiting for the problem to be big enough and noticeable enough to impact operating costs. They tackle the issue well before it can reach those levels, and they save thousands of dollars in doing so. So I'm going to talk about one more customer here today, and then I'll let you guys go. Have anybody ever tried a Goose Island beer? All right. So I did mention it earlier in our long list of the finest things of Chicago, but we're also home to one of the finest, best brew houses. I know tonight there will be a Bears game on Monday Night Football. It will be accompanied by a Goose Island beer for me this evening, so hopefully you guys get to enjoy one as well with the game. So Goose Island Beer Company participated in an energy efficiency program as part of a plan to increase sustainability across their business. Their study focused on compressed air and once again identified leaks and inefficient compressors that could be replaced with incentives from our program. For Goose Island, it was a matter of making immediate impact on their energy savings. Having compressed air experts provided them with a blueprint which identified ways for them to be more energy efficient. And that was the final nudge they needed to convince management to spend the capital toward the improvement. Here's another case of a community with a culture of sustainability working together to drive change. I'm telling you, this is easier to achieve than you think. People working together can achieve incredible things. And these are some big companies. So you might be looking at these examples and thinking that it can't apply to your own system. We're too small, the utility wouldn't bother helping me out, or maybe it's the opposite problem. You're thinking we're too big, and it might be intimidating to the utilities. Energy efficiency programs can help you and want to help you. Reach out to your local utilities and see if they have programs that can help you. And also remember there are federal and state programs as well that can support your efforts. So keep that in mind. The energy efficiency community is much larger than what's here today in this room. In the expo hall, there are going to be lots of companies who may also be able to help you to be more energy efficient. Our ComEd team is one of those companies. Please stop by our booth. There are knowledgeable team members who are happy to answer any questions you may have. And at the very least, they've probably seen a project like yours that they can give you recommendations on. So please give them a holler and see what's going on there. Stop by the expo and be sure to get everything you can out this conference session. I want to give special thanks to Rod and everyone at Best Practices Magazine for pulling this together. And thanks to everyone who came out to participate for the next couple days. I want to leave you, did I do something there? Well, I want to leave you with one final note up here. We're living in a time where there are amazing things that are happening every day. And they're happening because people like you are coming together to be greater than the sum of their parts. Industry is ready to take big steps forward and be leaders in the United States once again. So introduce yourself to the people sitting to the left and to your right. Tell them stories about your experience at work. Share some tips that have helped you in the past. Network today for a brighter future tomorrow. And at the end of the conference, you can go home with the knowledge that you did everything you can to make this world a better place. With that, I am done. Thank you, and please enjoy the conference and the expo. I appreciate your time.